Good morning.
Good morning.
Look, we are back in the house, Ryan. We have been gone, and we left Cameron to keep the house.
Maybe we should have
And
stayed gone.
I tell you, Cameron said it was like acrobatics in here last week.
Hey, she held it down. She did a great job.
She
I was
did
so
an
impressed.
awesome job. Go, Cameron.
Thanks. It
Go,
was fun.
Cameron.
It was
Yay.
fun, if nothing else. And I had some awesome guests, and they really made the show. And we have one.
And I was
who
about to
we
say,
get to
one
have
of them
a bit-
enjoyed it so much they came back today.
I'm
Sharonda.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here this morning.
Well, we
Yeah,
are
like
glad
it.
to have you. Look, so we're gonna jump. Well,
Yeah, what do we
before we
have?
jump right off, look,
on?
Ryan,
What are we even doing?
well, listen, Ryan did something amazing last week, and Ryan was like, "Wait a minute, I don't even remember last week."
What day is it?
Monday.
Yeah,
And it is March Madness Monday. It's not just any
Yes.
ordinary Monday. It is like March Madness Monday. Ryan, check the clock. Get with it, Ryan. So Ryan was at a John Maxwell event last week, which I'm thoroughly jealous and envious
Me
about that.
too.
I mean,
I'm
because
jealous.
I would have loved to have been there. I was in the Bahamas instead, so I can't totally
had a
hate
good
on
time.
that.
Not a
So-
bad
True,
second.
not a bad one at all. But yeah, Ryan was actually learning things. So
Right, yeah, we
so talk to us about that. How was it?
Well, it was great to be in the presence of the master of leadership himself, John Maxwell. Definitely appreciate that. Although I did not get a picture with the man,
Oh, wow.
I was like within 10 feet of him at one point. so
Man,
that
I
was
just
fun.
would have turned around and did the selfie thing, like
Yeah, as long as
he's
he was
right
in the
there.
frame.
Right. So lots of people there, thousands of people there. He's got a great following, and I'll just say that it's the culmination, or maybe we could say the commencement of some study and some work on my end, self-investment, obviously, and trying to be better, do better, and so I'm just appreciative that I took on that challenge.
An investment.
And now I have the name behind my name, John Maxwell's name behind my name. So I'm appreciative of that. And I would encourage anybody who can make time to do it and can invest in themselves, and talking about monetarily.
Right,
It costs.
right.
It costs. It's not
Yes, it
free.
does.
Literal investment.
Yes, it does.
that-
John Maxwell is, not
Yeah.
cheap at all.
Yeah, so just take on that challenge, and I think it'll be very rewarding. And then it continues, right? So they're going to
Yeah.
continue to mentor you even once you've finished with one part. There's other things you can do to increase your learning and increase your connectivity with the group as a whole. So it's
So
it's a
you
great-
are officially
certified John Maxwell Leadership Certified Team is what it's called. I have a pin. It's on my lapel on my jacket in the car. So yeah, I can wear it.
Nice,
Congratulations.
nice. I would have been wearing that lapel. If I could have taped it to my forehead, I would have walked around with that so proud today.
Yeah.
It's a badge of honor.
Oh,
Thank
I'm
you,
telling
thank
you.
you.
I'm telling you, congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Congratulations. Yeah, I was soaking it up in the Bahamas last week. Well, I was cruising
Heck
last week,
yeah.
so that was really, really nice. And we were in the Bahamas like a year ago, and the port when we got off the ship this time was incredibly different. They built like a whole thing. I mean, normally when you get off and go to a port, you can like walk down some streets and and immediately you have all the vendors that are set up out there. Well, the Bahamas created this whole like landing spot where now they have all of their vendors like under these they're little like modular buildings, but it's very nice, and they have this museum that sits right there on the port, big digital boards like what you would see in Vegas or New York. And then they have an amphitheater, and I mean it winds around to where they have their a couple of hotels that sit right on the water. I mean, such beautiful views. I took my flip-flops off and ran and hopped in the water long enough for
Oh,
I put my feet in, let my feet get wet long enough for a photo, and then I was out of there.
I
That's
gotcha.
right. That's
Yeah, I'm not.
Quick photo
I don't do the whole water thing, but unless it has chlorine in it. But it was fun. It was a great breakaway, and and then came back and picked up work again. So hey,
Oh, it was waiting for you.
it was waiting for me. It indeed was waiting for me. So the question of the day:
Ooh, a doozy.
how well do you wait?
How well do you wait?
Yes.
Patience.
I don't know. Should we really talk about this on the air?
Sounds like this might be a little
Implications.
interesting.
You know what? We have to put the clause or the caveat. What are we actually talking about, right? Is it weight in general or
weight in general? I mean, I know lately for me that seems to be a theme in my life where I am being really tried and tested in discipline and in waiting, and sometimes I don't wait well. I mean, I just don't, but that opens the door, really shines the light on areas of discipline that I need to grow in. And so, that's the other side. That is the other side of really being able to see yourself. Is like, I know I don't wait well, and I can even see it physically, in my being. I was sitting at the countertop yesterday eating, and I was doing this, and my husband said,
are you okay?
"What are you?" Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, but it was so subconscious that I didn't even realize that I was doing it. But I know that we have so many things going on, personally in our lives right now, that I didn't realize how much, it was playing out,
Physically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
subconsciously, and so I realized, I really, but when I feel the pull in certain situations, even outside of what we have going on personally, just the discipline that I have to exert, and even in responding
I think you recognize that
or
time.
reacting. Yeah.
I think you recognize that time is valuable. It's a precious commodity, and the more we have stacked for ourselves to do, that's the harder it is to wait. That's the harder it is to just be patient and let things unfold, because we're thinking, I could be doing something else with my time, or why isn't this happening exactly? We rush around a whole lot.
Yep.
So I get that part. I say it depends on what it is, but I would say for me, I wait well if I don't feel pressure. If there's not a lot
Gotcha.
happening. But see,
Yeah.
you have a lot. And then the moments when I have a lot happening, or the family's, got things going on, or I'm asked and being pulled in a bunch of different directions, we all felt that before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
definitely.
when it's tough, to just sit idle. I think idle time is the worst part.
Yeah.
And if I know I have to wait, like let's say, you're getting your oil changed or something like that. Okay, so what can I do to be productive? Bring
For
that book,
sure.
or,
Right.
in PR and marketing's case, it's be everywhere online and make sure that, y'all are on top of everything. That's
Cameron's
where
like, make
probably
your
glued
eye
to your
roll.
phones.
Yes, this is my life now.
There's always something to do, right?
Yeah, I don't envy y'all's position at all. So.
But I don't know, Ryan, that's kind of a factor of humanity today. I mean, with our cell phones, it's like we're constantly doing something. And it's
Yeah.
like, it's hard to sit still even if you don't have stuff going on. I
Yeah.
mean, because we've gotten so used to being occupied with our phones in some kind of way. Even when we're sitting, if we don't have anything to do, we're going to pull out that phone and start doing something.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I tried something a year ago, and I am not addicted to my phone. And I'm very glad to say that. Like right now, my phone is off, and I'm totally okay with that.
Okay.
Now, my mother would fuss at me because she'll say, "You are a mother, you cannot afford to have your phone off." But I found myself being less stressed when I feel like I'm not obligated to always have this phone on my
That
finger,
is
around my waist.
so good.
It just takes a lot of stress off. Now, when I turn it
Yes.
on, now I might have 50,000 emails. But
Yeah.
just having that time where I don't have to feel like I need my phone right by my side,
Right.
Yeah.
it has tremendously helped me
That is
to
huge.
the point where I've gone to work and left my phone at home, because I just don't think like I have to have this phone.
Oh, Lord, I think I
So-
would have to drive back home and go
it took
get
me
it.
a year, and even now they'll be like, my students say, "Miss Bridges, where's your phone?" And I say, I left it, I'll get it on lunch. And they was like, you can leave now. And I'm like, no, like it's okay. I'll just get it at lunch.
They're more anxious for you than you are for them.
Yeah, they are. But I also find them, because I do it in the classroom, I find them saying, you know what, it is okay. When was the last time I actually turned my phone off?
Yeah.
I turned my tablet off.
Yeah.
It's
So
funny. Yeah.
It's just, but it helps with my anxiety. Because you kind of feel like when you're away from it, you like, I know I got 10 missed calls, I have this.
Yeah.
So as far as the whole waiting concept, just doing little things like that, and it does give me time to pick up a book or do some type of self-reflection on other areas in my life.
Yeah.
So I think that has helped tremendously.
That's perfect. But I will say, for anybody who's trying to text Miss Bridges, don't be offended if she does not respond in 2 or 3 hours. She's having some her time.
I am.
She is detaching from all the digital world, so you have to catch her, go to her, or call her. Well, you can't even call classroom.
That's okay. You'll see me running up and down the hall. Normally people find me on the hall.
Yeah. And, you know, I love that, like, really unplugging and, you know, slowing time down for yourself, because I feel like we're always running out of time. There's not enough hours in the day. And I've been feeling like that, especially lately, even though we gained an hour, you know, the weekend before.
Right.
But it still feels like, you know, we don't have enough time. I think with long-term things, I'm really great at waiting. I like if I have a concert to go to in a year, you know, I'm waiting. I'm like, I really like the amp up to that. You know, I get to enjoy it. Like my wedding, for instance. She hadn't
talked. Well, no, she hadn't talked about it in a while. So yeah, so go ahead and give us an update.
I have a while until I'm getting married October 12th, and so I'm, you know, it's still a while, and I'm waiting, and I'm really enjoying, you know, the process of building up
enjoy
to it.
the journey.
I really soak in stuff like that. Like I don't know, I'm just such a junkie for like just being sentimental. And so, but with short-term things, I have zero patience. If I ask my fiance to do something for me and he doesn't do it like right then there the second, I'm sitting there like,
now,
like
I know he heard me.
Exactly.
He even said okay.
And he's like, he's kind of more chill, you know. He's like, oh, well, you know, tomorrow I'll pick up the stuff tomorrow. And, you know, I get that. And I try to, you know, give in little because I really need to be less, you know, like do it now. Yeah. So
I'll do it myself. I'll just do it myself.
Oh, that's what I'm like, I'll just do it. And he's like, no, I'll do it. Just give me a minute. And, you know, I get it. So short-term stuff, I have no patience. I'm like, I want it now. I need it now. I need to work on that probably. But long-term stuff, I am really good about waiting. So.
I wonder if the average person struggles more with long-term, having to wait for long-term things versus short-term things. I'm on that, you know, the long-term thing. I think I have a harder time in versus the short-term. Short-term, I know it's coming.
Yeah.
And so I think it's harder for me to wait on the long-term stuff.
Gotcha.
But that is so, maybe I'm going to take a lesson from your book, Cameron, and just that's a reminder to slow down and enjoy the journey.
Yeah, because when
Quit
it's
looking
gone, it's
at
gone.
milestones and getting here and there, and just enjoy the journey.
Well, it's not a proven method, but it helps me wait for long-term stuff for sure.
It's different for everybody. It's going to be different from everybody.
That's true.
It's just to take a lot of self-reflection to see what works for you. So
absolutely.
I don't think it's a right answer.
Yeah.
It's what's the best answer.
And then it could be different answers at different times. But yeah, I'm a try that. Just slowing it down and enjoying the journey. All right, so look, something happened last week, y'all.
What happened? Tell us about
This should have been under a little bit of history. I know she is gonna kill me for that one.
Wait a minute.
Miss Liz had a birthday last week.
Oh my God! A little bit of history.
She's going to get you for that one.
She is gonna get me.
Oh my God!
She is so gonna get me.
That was kind of wrong. But just in case this is the last show we ever do, Miss Liz, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Lizzie.
We love you.
Yes.
Or three of us do. One of us is out to get you.
Lizzie knows I love her.
Darian Atkins reported missing.
I know.
The
Morning
last
Blend.
time she was seen was on the Morning Blend, the morning of
She
March
probably
18th.
she'll probably call me and tell me something that can be heard publicly.
That's right. Happy birthday, Miss Liz.
Happy
We appreciate you.
birthday.
Yes. And all of our March birthday babies.
Yes. So I figured before we jumped into the rest of the episode, we need to do your lightning round interview that you didn't get to do last
Yes.
All right.
week. So we need a timer.
Look.
Perfect.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
She has the phone.
Dun, 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 dun,
Girl, yeah,
dun,
because I
dun,
have
dun.
stuff going on. I have to watch. Okay, what does she have? 30? Was it 20?
It was
how many
a
seconds?
minute. 1 minute.
It was a whole minute.
Yep.
We were that generous.
We were. A lot of people, and I realized last week a lot of people made it in a minute.
They
So I was
did.
like, maybe
We
do
should
need
have
to-
It was
done
like
30
40
seconds.
Yeah, 45 seconds, something like
Yeah,
that.
Sharonda, would you like to do 30 seconds? No, you got a minute.
Yeah, let's be fair. Let's be
Yeah.
fair.
You got a minute. All righty. Ready?
Tell us what you have done in your area that you're most proud of at LDCC.
Oh, that's a good question.
And
That
go.
is a good question.
The thing I'm most proud of, student success. Like student success, like I think I'd be more excited for them because everybody is so different. So it's not all about getting high school equivalency. It could be a short-term training program. It can be just entering college. It could be completing a financial aid application. It's
Wow.
student success. And when you focus on the small milestones, I just think it's unlimited possibility. So I'd be so excited when they say, hey, I went to the Night Center and I got this information. I'm like, oh my God. I
Yeah.
talked to this professor. You know, I talked to a division chair. What's that title? So I was going to talk to Miss Tracy Clark, and she talked to me because I was having anxiety. So I love it when they come. It's like
Oh,
I feel
awesome.
comfortable here. And I just feel like that's my biggest success because that's how I want them to feel here. You know, and college is like a second home.
It is.
So I really take pride in student success. 100%.
Well, look at you.
Oh, right on
Oh,
time.
right on time.
We
Right
love
on
it.
time.
Love
And you
that.
brought out a very good point, too, because you know what? Success is defined differently and uniquely, person to person. And it's awesome that you are open enough to recognize that successes range
Yes.
in what they look like from one student to another, and that you take the time to celebrate those successes.
Yes, yes. I just think it's very important because at some point in time, they made a decision to come here today. We didn't go to their house and grab them by their hand. They made a decision
Come on.
to say, you know what, I got a lot going on in my life, but I'm about to go up here to LDCC today. I'm going to see if I can get advice. Let me see if I can just sit in class and actually pay attention and just, it's the journey. It's the small steps.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, I have this thing where I treat everybody like they having the worst day of their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and my students say, Miss Bridges, why you so happy? I'm like, y'all just don't know I don't have no gas.
Yeah, I mean yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
so happy y'all came to see me today because you could have stayed in your bed, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it could
that's
be
right.
the worst day of their
It
life,
could
and they
be the
decided to
worst
show up.
day. Or they're like, Miss Bridges, are you eating noodles? Yes, because I just want some. I'm sorry. I got addicted in college and I can't shake this habit. And sometimes
Yeah.
I crave noodles. So it's just being relatable and don't feel like, hey, it's okay not to be perfect. I can be myself here and
Yeah.
not be judged.
Yeah.
And that's the beginning step, you know. And I just think that's the environment I try to create all the time.
And that environment is so
That's
so palpable
critical.
for me because I've had a couple students come to me and say, "I want your job." Like I'm coming for the crowd, you know.
Oh wow, that is awesome.
I'm proud of them when they say, you know, I want to be successful not only in the academic space, but they also want to be successful in their career as well. And they look at the examples that we provide here at LDCC
do.
as potential opportunities or potential pathways for themselves. So that kudos to you because you're really doing a great job with those students.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really do. That's I love them so. I love them so much because they go through so much.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of us, we had that family foundation that taught us how to get over things. A lot of them don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So just to see them overcome things, I mean, from a 16-year-old to my 60-year-old, it's just a blessing. I'm
You
just glad
know-
to be part of the journey.
Oftentimes we hear from people about things that people have said to them that were hurtful and how that impacted their lives. In fact, I'm listening to this audio book now by Nona Jones, and she talks a lot about things that people said to her and how that impacted her psyche as she was growing up. So imagine the power that reinforcing good things and good thoughts about your students' value. Think about what that's doing for them exponentially. When they look at their own self-worth. Because some of them may not feel valuable anywhere else but in your classroom.
Right.
And think if you didn't give them that.
And that's why that's why I tell them when they say that hurt me. I say people say words don't hurt. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Words do hurt.
They do hurt.
So let's replace those words with some better words.
Exactly.
But they do hurt. So don't let somebody tell you words don't hurt.
And then when you believe them about yourself, that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate hurt when you let other people's thoughts shape how you view yourself. When those things get into your own heart, it's hard getting that out. And so it takes hearing the opposite. Often.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we appreciate you doing that and being that for our students that come through these doors because they do need that. Even the ones who seem like they have it all together.
Yes. They're
under a different type of pressure. That pressure to succeed and that pressure to, to not fail.
Yeah.
Is just as difficult as, the other. So, thank you for what you're doing. You are appreciated. We think so highly of you, and we're glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
All right. Thank you, Sharonda. And you have got to get back to your people.
I do, because today is a test day. And if I do not come back, they will be here in 2 minutes.
Looking for you. Look, most of the time, when kids are in college, when the teacher doesn't show up in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, they be like, yeah, we can go now. So to say for them to come look for you,
mine will flood the hall.
Sharonda.
They will sit in the middle of the hallway.
Oh
and
my
be like,
gosh.
I know she's gonna cut this corner. I said, if I wanted to skip, y'all would give me 5. Yes,
well, thank you for not skipping out on them.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell them we said we wish them well today. Do well on their test.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank
Thank
Have a great
you.
day.
You too. All right, Cameron, what we have on news?
Hold on a second. Okay. Do we not have signal on my
Correct.
computer? Okay. Well, we don't need it.
I don't know why.
Me
Did
neither.
it go to sleep or something?
Nope, it sure didn't.
How about while you start that, why don't we unplug and plug back in real quick?
Okay.
And
Okay.
This is technical troubleshooting live on the air.
Well, and
On
I
the air.
can multitask. So for the news,
Go, Cameron.
we have your future starts now.
Ooh, look at Cameron.
So don't forget your retirement roadmap workshop, which is happening this March 20th, which is Wednesday. Okay, don't forget about that. It's 10 a.m. to 10:45 or 3 p.m. to 3:45 p.m. So take action to achieve a more comfortable retirement. Learn more by attending this free educational workshop. Financial topics, knowledge it's conducted by a knowledge professional. And so start preparing for your future. I mean, the best time to do it is now. Do not wait. And I think Sharon Jones sent that out from HR.
She did.
Any questions, please contact Sharon. But it should be in your inbox somewhere to sign up for these workshops. So do it. I need to do it.
Right.
And I just started. So
Yeah, I'm kind of on the back end of that. It's like if I haven't done it by now, I am so up the creek.
Yeah,
I mean,
without
just
a paddle.
so up the creek. Yeah.
And then next we also have the night. So I didn't know much about this, but the Night
Yeah.
Center is working and assisting students who are planning to attend. What is it?
The summer 24, summer 24, fall 24 semesters. They're just,
Gotcha.
they're just working on making sure students are getting their FAFSAs done. So,
Yes.
For any of you who, come in regular contact with students, just know that the Night Center is actively working to assist those students. So if they have questions, you can send them right over to the Night Center.
Yeah, I think I lied. I do know something a little about this. The students this happening on every campus, and students can book an appointment on any campus that they want. So I thought SU stood for Southern University. So I was like, what is this event from Southern University? So
Okay, and I think in this, I don't, and Lord have mercy.
we're just gonna leave that right there.
So,
Maybe if you just open it back up one more time, it'll help.
Let's see.
If it doesn't, then oh well. I guess
so
we'll just sit
also, all of the campuses voted to change the name of their spring program or spring activity, like if they've had Spring Fest or Spring Fling, they all voted to just go with Nights Fest
Okay.
as their spring thing.
Love it.
Okay. And
Night
so,
Fest.
and then this year, they all voted and on a specific design for the T-shirts. So all of the campuses will have the same T-shirt
Fun.
for Nights Fest.
Nice, okay.
So we're
I
gonna have to
love
get
that.
used to that. It's Nights Fest, not
Nights
Spring
Fest.
Fling, not Spring Fest.
Yeah.
You know, Nights Fest.
And I saw the T-shirts, and they were looking really good.
Yes, you know, it's this whole return to retro thing. You know,
yeah, everybody's.
I was looking at furniture and I was thinking, you know, this looks like my grandmother's furniture. I just can't get with this. I mean, my dollars just can't leap out of my pocket to buy this. I mean, it's just like, this feels like old furniture to me. I don't want that.
And see, that is my style, like right now.
Yeah,
Especially,
you
I
really
love
like
like
that.
the 70s and 80s, like
Yeah.
old couches, vintage wallpaper.
Girl, look, we didn't set on those and tore them up. I don't want to return.
And I get that for sure. But yeah, 70s fonts. I love the T-shirt because it's like a really groovy font.
I do like the
so.
T-shirt.
Groovy, that's a good word.
The design is cool.
I mean, there's even going to be an event called Pack the Park at Railroad Park in Ruston.
Oh,
It's an
really?
event that's going to happen April 20th, and it's a fundraiser really on behalf of for the Ruston High School band. They're gonna do
Oh,
they're gonna do a
cool.
battle of the bands, but the poster.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah, but the poster artwork that I saw, it's not released publicly yet, is that same groovy
Retro kind of
70s
thing.
Woodstock type of vibe
Yeah.
it's got going on.
So when is this event? Because the Battle of the Bands, I do love some Battle of the Bands.
Now it's a battle of like the rock bands. It's not like a
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not it's not
I
that,
mean,
it-
I may
Dang,
not-
It's not like marching
no,
or
no, it's
anything
not
like
much.
that.
Railroad
Fine.
Park could not handle, I think, a huge
Couldn't host all
bands
that.
like that. Yeah, but anywho,
Oh, it's rock bands.
yeah, right. You
That's
know,
so
or
cool.
and they gospel. I mean, it could be any genre. It's whatever you're bringing to
Okay,
it. You
gotcha.
know, it could be
Oh, so it's a
cool.
variety
Latin,
of music.
it could- yeah, all of those, yeah.
Yeah, so when is that? I
April
would like
20th.
that.
Yeah, Saturday, April 20th.
I'm going to
Cool.
have to remember that. Yeah, April 20th, because that sounds like it
And-
would really be fun. Is that a Saturday?
It is, and it'll be they'll be raffled. They'll be raffling off a couple $1,000 guitar, I think, you know, and then another guitar. There are gonna be vendors there. Lady Chops, if y'all have heard of, I think I'm saying that right, and somebody else, Trey Gotro. Am I saying that right? Anyway, I have there's flyers out. Obviously, we're just now getting it on the ground, but
Yeah, you're going to have to bring that back.
yeah, it's a
That'll be
fundraiser.
a
It'll be out
great-
in Ruston, and it'll be a good deal. And, you know, I'm invested in that, of course, because
Of course.
my son is part of the
Yes.
Ruston High School marching band and concert band. So, you know, I got to plug
Yes,
that
yes,
wherever I
yes.
can.
Heck
But
yeah.
again, how did I get that to fit in? The groovy artwork that's
Yes.
on the poster. So
He
that's what we're
He
talking
didn't
about.
lose that. All right.
Awesome. Since we have our graphics back, let's move on to In Case You Missed It.
Go Cameron.
Okay. So, in case you missed it, let's see here. First up, food pantry and clothing closet ribbon cutting. Y'all, West Monroe has its own food pantry and ribbon cutting.
Woo.
Can you believe it?
I mean, food pantry and clothing closet. Can you believe it?
From a totally different mic.
I know. Y'all, it was a great ribbon cutting. The food bank, Northeast Louisiana, was there. Sounds like they were doing some great networking opportunity, Feeding America. They also just had a good student population showing up to know, like, hey, now we have this awesome resource for our students. And so I just want to thank everybody at West Monroe. It was everybody chipped in. Even the welding shop contributed, creating the racks for the clothes and the clothing closet. So everybody chipped in. Everybody had played a part in it. And congratulations to them for getting this resource together for their students. I know it's going to be useful to them for years to come.
And we just have to remember, to help keep it stocked.
Yes.
That's right.
Any donations are welcome. So clothing donations.
At any time.
Yes, at any time. Food donations, so your canned food, even dry, packaged food, anything like that, totally welcome anytime.
It speaks to the fact that we have campuses everywhere, but there's need everywhere.
Everywhere as well,
So
that's it.
Doing those types of things on just one campus is not enough. We have to serve the entire population. So proud of the group at West Monroe for getting that off the ground.
Absolutely. And they also had a fashion show, which I have a picture of up now. They had actual students, wearing clothes from the closet, walking the runway, showing off, business appropriate attire. So we love to see student involvement too. And the SGA, I think, will be helping run the food pantry and clothing closet. They're going to try and open it Monday through Thursday for a couple hours every day.
We love to see it.
Julie does a really great job with ensuring that students understand what's expected of them when they step out into the interview world, looking for jobs. And it's important to communicate and to demonstrate what professional dress is supposed to look like, because I have seen people show up in wrinkled clothing and jeans, for jobs where you would not go to work in jeans. Some jobs you go to work in jeans, and maybe showing up in jeans for an interview is not inappropriate.
Right.
But for a job where you would not show up to work in jeans, and you do that doesn't speak very well. And sometimes you just don't know. And unless you know, you don't know to do any different.
Right.
So equipping our students with knowledge on how to put their best selves forward is key. And like I said, Julie does a great job of that.
And speaking of which, she hosted the Dress for Success event this past Wednesday on Monroe campus. I know, right?
Yeah, that was a fun event. Although I think we should change the carpet. I was on Amazon, and they sell a blue carpet. So we need to do a blue carpet runway next time around. But let's put the graphic back up. We got to give a shout out to Mark Ketchel.
Oh, yeah. He strutted
Mark.
his stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
He walks only one way, that there is only one way that Mark Ketchel walks, and it's a walk of confidence and swagger every single time. And so he got up there.
Mark showed off his swagger.
And I'm telling you, he had his polo
Mark,
shirt on and his khaki pants.
I felt like the paparazzi at the end of the runway. I had to get every single shot because he showed off
Mark.
his socks. He, the little groove. It was amazing.
So Mark is the pick.
cool.
For those that don't know, Mark Ketchel's got his hands open like, hey, look at me. He's on the red carpet. He's the picture on the right. And then on the left, that's yours truly. But the real star of the show that day was, I think the gentleman's name was Killian, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And he showed out. I'm sorry that the picture, you can't see what he had on, but he had on this just perfect all black suit. And then he attached a dark green, almost like a royal green accents to it with the tie and the pocket square.
Oh, my goodness.
And a tie clip.
And jewelry. All of his jewelry matched.
Yeah, everything. I mean, and so he
Was
put
this
us all to
a student
shame.
or an
He's a
employee?
student.
Student.
Yeah.
Yep. He's very active, I think, in the esports and anime club.
Yeah,
So.
he came
Go Killian.
dressed for success, and he got the job. I was about to pass the mic to him.
He got the job. I love it.
Go Killian.
Well, Brian, you also did a fantastic job talking to the guys on how to dress, how to do on a job interview. He really hit on hygiene.
That is important.
It was very important. I'm glad he said that. And
That
then
is important.
The one who did the girls. Oh, I wish
The
I
lady
could
from
remember.
Victoria's Secret. Her name is
Yes.
Rachel Gilliam, I think was it.
I think her first name was definitely Rachel.
Yeah.
And but she did a great job talking to the ladies, talking about nails, hair, everything.
See, it worked out perfectly because she was on first, so that gave me about 30 minutes to figure out what I wanted to say. And all I did was just figure what she didn't talk about, and then I just threw that at the guys. You know? So she didn't talk about hygiene. I was like, yeah, we're gonna talk about this.
Ryan was strategizing.
Yes.
That is funny.
It was awesome. And then we also had, I think one of the best dressed was Crystal Gaines. She had on a baby blue pantsuit.
Oh, wow.
It was gorgeous.
Look at her.
Yes, I absolutely loved her outfit. So thank you. It was also awesome just to get faculty and staff all together in one place and really, see everybody shine.
Yeah.
And then all of us just like fellowshipping together along with the students was just, a really awesome event. One of my favorites so far at LDCC.
Definitely.
And then moving right along, speaking of really awesomely dressed women.
I've heard about this one.
We've had the Women's History Luncheon at Ruston.
I heard it was phenomenal.
It was excellent. I had the honor of being able to attend, and we had a panel full of women in the community, a diverse panel. Gosh, I can't remember their names. I should have pulled them up. But they did a fantastic job of answering questions and really talked about more like job interviewing advice, for women and job searching advice, just how to really survive in, the career world. So I think that was really important for our students to hear, especially, nursing students and business students, all of those students in Ruston. I think it was really beneficial for them to hear. So,
You definitely have some power players. I don't remember everybody's name, but I do know Tori Davis, who is in the green. Of course, Patience Talley, our campus director at Ruston. You just got some power players in the room.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm sure that whatever they said hopefully hit home to the audience.
Yes.
And I'm sorry I couldn't be there for that, but I'm sure it was fantastic.
It was really good and a great turnout too. And we had chicken salad chick, so we were on theme.
Oh man,
Naja's
I love
always
chicken
on
salad
theme.
chick.
And it's like a women-driven business. So
It is.
Naja is always on theme
It
with
is.
what she picks to eat. So, but yeah, and Naja did a great job facilitating the
She
panel as well.
always does an amazing job.
Yeah.
Naja, you always do an amazing job.
Always, and she's always so prepared. So.
You rock, Naja.
Love it. And thank you all. Thank you to everyone who made this event possible.
Yes.
It was truly fantastic. I'm so glad I got to go and participate as well as take pictures. So next, we also have, speaking of community outreach, Reading Across America, the Student Success Navigators, Liz Ford, Trayvon Williams, and Kim Moore all went and read to students for Reading Across America.
And now, did you get Alvina in there too?
I didn't get that one.
Okay, yeah, Alvina went and read to some students too, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to post that picture on our social
Dr.
media.
Thomas.
That's right.
Dr. Thomas.
Yeah, what a great outreach, though. And I think that there's even more planned. I don't know if it's in the upcoming events, but I know that there's something else coming up on Wednesday that I'll mention if it's not in the notes.
Okay.
That there's another outreach opportunity, and it's just us, getting out there in the community and being good community partners with everyone around us.
You
So
may
it's
have
really
to talk to us about that one because I don't know that if we have that.
And then lastly, we had Pharmacy Tech took a fabulous trip to New Orleans. They went down south to the Pharmacy Museum.
I'm looking at this picture. That's a lot going on in that picture on the left. So
Yes. They sent a lot of pictures of the museum, and it honestly just looks super cool in there. Like, it just looked like that in all the pictures.
What kind of potions are they? I mean, that can't be real.
I'm telling you, like, that used to be, I guess, what pharmacies looked like. So, but yeah, you can see everybody who went in the picture to the left there. We have Misty Moore, leading the charge on this trip, and it looks like they had a great time. They also got to go to Delgado, our sister college.
Oh, yeah.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and they got to tour their new Allied Health building, and they did, I think, a Kahoot with the instructor there, the Pharmacy Tech instructor there. So they had a really good time, got to do a lot of stuff. I think they went and ate somewhere fabulous too, which you got to when you go to New Orleans.
So I'll stop right there and just say kudos to Misty and her team, Stevie as well, for going out there, because in academics sometimes we find it hard, to break away from the classroom.
Yes.
Because we're trying to
Yep.
hit those learning objectives, and we're trying to meet at the appropriate amount of hours and so on. And there's all these things that are weighing on the faculty to try to do, to accomplish, to pass the test, whatever it is, right? And so Misty finding time and seeing the value in taking her students, not just like somewhere in Monroe, West Monroe, but I'm talking about taking them to New Orleans.
Yeah.
5
That's
hours away.
Paperwork, that's vans, that's all kinds of things you got to go through. Taking them down there, exposing them to something that's really neat and interesting and cool, making it a day trip, and then getting back up here. I think all in a day, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it was really funny because I was coming up in here. I was rolling up in the parking lot at 7:30, and I saw her and the pharmacy tech students, and they are always out and doing things in the community and just at every event, you know, in their scrubs. And I'm like, what are the farm tech students doing in the parking lot this early?
That's right.
And so I texted Misty as soon as I got parked, and she told me what they were doing. I'm like, well, that is just cool. I wish I could come
So
with y'all.
wait a minute, they came back that same day?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute, that's 5 hours down,
Budgets
5 hours
budget's
back.
tight now, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's really good. So I hope that that's showing, and I know that more faculty are likely to get on board with doing this kind of thing, but it just shows what the faculty are doing and that they care about their students and they want the best outcomes
That's some
for
deep
them.
dedication right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
10
Super,
hours
super.
of road time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Awesome. Kudos, Miss
And
Missy.
it's not like they rented a bus, you know, where they had a bus driver.
Nothing like that. Oh no.
Right.
You know, that's some true. I'm
You're
like,
my mind's
yeah,
blown over
I'm like,
here.
wow, that is like some real dedication there.
Darian said if I drive 5 hours
Misty,
one
look,
way,
you
it's
really
just one
wanted
way.
That's
them to
just one
see,
day,
look.
one way, one day. Like that's
For
enough
real.
road
I
time.
mean, like, Misty, you really wanted them to see that pharmacy museum, girl. Because, I mean, geez,
I know it's valuable and definitely a
the
memory.
dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That is all in case you missed it, and we will talk about upcoming events next.
We got you again. Yes. All right. She couldn't help it. She had
You
to shake
were
a little
too,
bit.
though,
I was.
he was going with me.
I'm just trying to egg it on. That's all.
Oh my gosh. So
Let's
today,
talk about Mike Harrell for a second, shall we?
Okay, Ryan, take the
Today,
mic. Take the mic.
today.
My guy, Mike Harrell, is presenting today. Now, I want you to know it's on the Monroe campus in room 267. All right, 11 a.m. I sound so smart, even though this was written for me.
Like, dang, Ryan is in the know, you know?
At 11 a.m. I was talking to Mike yesterday, okay? At 11 a.m.
John Maxwell did you right. You earned
So,
that certification.
right, that's right. Look, and now it's the right commencement, which means the beginning. So now I have to go even further and showcase that I know some things.
Yep, there you go.
Is right. Use
I'm
what
gonna
I
have
learned.
to text him and tell him, yeah, he picked up a little bit.
Hey,
He
John
sounded very
Maxwell.
convincing.
John Maxwell is a prankster and a jokester, though. Y'all, you just gotta listen to him. He has got some ridiculous stories. Anyway, this isn't about John Maxwell. Mike Harrell again today. Wildflowers presentation to Master Gardeners at the Monroe campus, 11 a.m. room 267. Okay, I really hadn't talked to Mike. Well, I talked to him about something else, but I'm gonna say that this Wildflowers presentation, you should be, even though it's for
You're
the Master
gonna go out
Gardeners, you
on
should
a
be there.
limb and just.
And I'm gonna say it's about wildflowers. Probably how to grow some great wildflowers in your garden. I'm telling you.
No way.
Mike is gonna tell, and then what kind of insects they attract. I bet if I'm
Oh, yeah, for
looking
sure.
at my crystal ball,
For sure.
butterflies,
For sure.
butterflies, and bumblebees and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
Mike, we appreciate you for this community service
Yes,
because really
thank
it's
you,
valuable.
Mike.
We're laughing, but this is real big time, and we
Yep.
appreciate you for that.
Absolutely. That
Okay,
is
I'm done.
awesome.
I just had to give a shout out to Mike. That's my guy.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you taking that one. Yeah, no, that is definitely going to be a great presentation. Probably a lot about native plants too, which is really important. So thank you, Mike. Next up, we also have the ULM Women's Symposium. So
That's it.
I know somebody who's
Ooh.
on the board for that, and I don't want to name names.
But we know it isn't Ryan.
Oh, no, it's not me. No way.
Miss Darian, tell us.
Yes,
Tell us
yes,
more.
yes. So last week we had a meet and greet
can't
with
do
all
that.
of the
We'll read it.
we had a meet and greet with all of the panelists for the Women's Symposium, and I tell you, it is an impressive group of women.
Awesome.
It is an impressive group of women. And so that is happening on March the 20th from noon until 4:30. Our students are able to attend it for free.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
look
great.
at
Yeah,
that.
there is a reduced, I think, registration for employees. I need to check with patients on that, but I believe that that is the case.
Okay.
But I've been a panelist at the Women's Symposium, and it was fun. I really, really enjoyed it. Dr. Tostenson she was also a panelist. She was a panelist, I think, last year or year.
Wasn't that here? Was that event
No,
here?
no, no.
Okay.
It was at ULM.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Tostenson was a panelist last year. And it was really good. And so, for those of you who can, break away to go participate in that, it is definitely worth doing so. It is a day of networking with other women. It's an opportunity, I should say, to network with other women, to sit and be a part of conversations that we have not often enough, I should say that, we don't, the things that they're going to talk about, the topics of discussion are going to be things that we should have regular discussions about. But because of life, and
Yeah.
everyone's, obligated to, work and family and all of that and other activities, we often don't. And so it is a great time for women to come and just to exhale and enjoy being in the company of other women, getting to meet people that you hadn't met before, or reacquainted, or, feel like a reunion for those you don't normally see, but, you've run into them at this event. So it's a great break away from your regular day's routine. So join us over at ULM for that event on March the 20th from noon until 4:30. It
Did somebody
will be
say
so much fun.
you were? What position do you hold in that whole business?
I'm newly on the board. I felt so useless this year, y'all. I mean, because it's so much,
Yeah.
it's so much that goes into the planning of it, and they run like a really well-oiled machine.
Right. Like,
And, and it's just, I mean, you come on board and you really just observing, to kind of see how things go. And so,
They're going to ease you into it. Then you'll
yeah.
be, a staple
Yeah,
in the whole
well,
situation.
not really, because next year it'll be, I'll be on it next year, and then, yeah. So
They'll bring you
anywho,
back for special events.
Yeah,
Fly you in.
there you go, there you go. But yeah, it'll be great. So ladies, if you can,
ladies.
that's an event worth making.
Another event worth making is the Spring Fling in Ruston and Jonesboro. That'll be March 21st, 11 a.m. It's also anti-hazing and sexual assault awareness. So they'll have the T-shirts that we were talking about. It's not Spring Fling, right?
It's Nights Fest.
Nights Fest. Okay.
I told you it's going to take us some practice.
I wrote
tell
it
you.
down wrong, and then I didn't even catch it. So Nights Fest, which is the Spring Anti-Hazing Sexual Assault Awareness, March 21st, which is this Thursday, 11 a.m. on Ruston and Jonesboro campuses. And we'll have more of those coming up before the end of March, that I'm assuming. So on different campuses.
That was a nice segue, by the way, at the between the two events.
I've been working on my segues. I really
was
have been
good.
trying. And speaking of work smarter, not harder. The Student Counseling and Disability Services at West Monroe
gosh.
campus. I didn't know much about this one. So when is that? I think it was going to be this Wednesday.
I believe so.
Yeah.
It'll be in the Week at a Glance. Wow.
Check the
yeah,
Week
it'll
at a
be
Glance.
it'll be in the Week at a Glance that comes out today, so you'll have full details in there.
But that'll be West Monroe campus. I'm assuming around lunchtime, kind of a lunch and learn.
I know
thing,
Tracy's
maybe.
going to be talking with them about how to be successful in college and showing them some ways in which they can work smarter, not harder.
Awesome. Well, Tracy, you have been working overtime lately, just as a figure of speech. Like, she has really gotten flyers out about a lot of different
Look,
things.
they have
happening,
been
so.
cranking out some stuff on that end
absolutely.
of the house. I mean, everybody's been doing a lot of, when you think about it, you think about what they're doing, what workforce is doing,
yeah.
you know, what the CTEs are doing. I mean, people have
Yes.
been pushing out some work.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's a busy time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all the year round, Cameron, year round.
Yes. And next, I'm going to tell y'all, let me tell you a little story. You thought you caught me. So
Tell us a story.
y'all, one of my faves around here is Sharon Bryant in the accounting office. I was onboarded with her. She was one of the first people I ever met at Louisiana Delta Community College, and it was me and her being onboarded, so we got to talk and visit together. Just a friendly face for my first day when I was scared. And
I was so confused for a minute when you said she onboarded with you. I'm like, in accounting?
Yeah, you know, I'm an accountant. No. And so me and her, we catch up every now and then. You know, we're both so busy. It's hard to catch each other. But when we do, I love talking with her because she's just down to earth. And
So very sweet.
yes, the sweetest. And so she told me before Christmas, I was taking off a week before Christmas, you know, to have my Christmas holiday. And she's like, oh, I'm saving all of my personal leave for Mardi Gras. And I was like, oh my gosh, what do y'all do for Mardi Gras?
What's
And
that?
Yeah,
she
because that makes
says-
you want to know.
And she says, you know, her and her friend group, and I think maybe a few family members go down to New Orleans and Mardi Gras for like a week straight.
Oh, wow.
And they try to hit every parade and just are all about it, which I love that. I want to go down with her because she made it sound so fun. She was saying we have the perfect little spot with the bathroom and, you know, not too far away. And
That's important.
Yes.
They've got their routine down pat. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and so this past year, I was so thrilled to ask her. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to stop. I don't have time, but I'm going to make time to stop at the accounting office and ask her how Mardi Gras went because I wanted to live vicariously through her. And so I went up and asked her, and she was like, oh my gosh, I Mardi Gras'd with Anthony Mackie. Do y'all know who that is?
Yes.
I do not.
He is a movie star.
He is a movie
Who
star.
is he? What
Captain Falcon.
Captain America. He's the new Captain America.
Why am I
but
saying that? I said that wrong. Yeah, you're right. Go
I
ahead.
don't know anything about the Avengers.
Right.
Y'all,
So he
No, he's
plays
Fal- no,
one
he's-
of the Avengers,
Yes.
one of
Isn't
the
he Falcon?
current
Doesn't he have like the
Avengers.
wings
Yes.
and whatnot? Doesn't he have the wings? Okay.
he was that beforehand, and then
Okay.
he turned into Captain America. I don't know all about it. I wish I asked Jake beforehand. But anyway, and so he
Yeah, I
was
don't keep
down
up
in
with all the Marvel
NOLA.
stuff. This
He went to New Orleans to Mardi Gras, and he
and she hung
He's
out
amazing.
with
She-
them.
the story goes they were at the Muses Parade, and that's whenever they throw shoes at people. And so all three of her folks that she was with caught some shoes, and he was kind of above them, and he caught a shoe, but then he lost it, and he asked everybody to kind of look around, you know, look for the shoe, help me find the shoe. They never found it. The next day, he comes back to the same spot, and then Sharon starts talking him up like, you know, oh, I hate you lost your shoe. And so they ended up hanging out. And
Chatting him up.
Go,
Yep,
Sharon.
hanging out. Yep.
Look at
What?
you
I know. I
hanging
was
out
very
with
impressed.
the TV star.
See,
Yep.
accountants, they just don't get their shine, but
I'm
they really are
telling
awesome
you.
people.
I'm telling you. So that was a cool little, let me tell you about one of our employees
That
who was hanging
was
out with a movie
cool.
star over Mardi Gras.
Look at that.
Go, Sharon.
That's the type of thing where you shake that person's hand. You're like, I won't wash this.
Right.
I won't wash this for at
That
least
is
a
too
week.
funny.
That was awesome.
All right. With that, we'll go into a little bit of history. A little bit of history is so official. It's like,
I know.
woo.
You all played
we're
our
just-
violins during the break.
Right.
All right, a little bit of history. Cameron, I thought about you.
This is not true. But this isn't even true of her. I'm reading this
Y'all
and I'm
aren't
like,
even
no.
gonna ask. Y'all aren't even gonna ask.
I thought about you when I was pulling material for a little bit of history. Y'all, this week is National Introverts Week. I didn't even know it was a thing.
Me neither.
I gotta
But
tell
I
my
don't
Cameron,
wife.
think an introvert
We're
would.
raising a glass to you this week. National
Impossible.
Introverts Week is celebrated during the third full week of March each year. Well, we say each year. It's only, been active for just a few years.
I figured it would take a while for an introvert.
This
to
is
be like, yeah, let's get our own.
This is a very recent
They
development.
usually don't have time for that. You're just like, nah.
But somebody got fed. Look, somebody got fed up and was like, "Look, we want some recognition."
We
Okay,
need our time.
so it takes place from March 18th to the 24th this year. The week was founded by Matthew Pollard, who is the author of The Introvert's Edge. He has a podcast by the same name.
Wait, an introvert on a podcast?
The Introvert on a Podcast. Well, he didn't say he was an introvert.
It's possible, y'all. It's possible.
Yeah, he wrote the book. He could be married to an introvert. Could have had an introvert for a parent.
true.
I mean, or he could be an introvert himself that's moved over to the extrovert side. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe. I don't know.
People can change, not
People can
drastically, but
change.
people can change.
Yeah.
All right. So it was founded to appreciate introverts all over the world for their qualities and to encourage them to stand proud in their identities rather than comparing themselves to us extroverts. It is not only extroverts who get ahead in life and reap all the benefits. So it's high time that the many stereotypes around introverts be smashed and the record set straight.
Wow.
And what better way to do this than by celebrating introverts for an entire week?
Wow.
Us extroverts don't even get a day. But you
Y'all
introverts
are every
get
day.
a whole week.
Y'all
But
are
you
every day.
introverts get a whole week.
Wow.
And it's official.
Official. I should have brought my tiara, y'all.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
should.
so
I have one in.
special.
Oh no, I do have one in my office.
fine.
Okay, stop the
It's
madness. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. This is a fake week. My wife would be mad at me right now for saying that because she has a book called Quiet, and it's another one about introverts.
Yeah, I
and
have
all.
that too.
And I'm just like, all right. But no, seriously, like you're an ambivert. I don't. If you're not, I can't believe.
Well, they
you're
said
fully
that
introvert.
ambivert is a recent terminology.
Yeah, that's like when you're on the
come
border
about.
because you can
Yeah.
turn it on. So I don't believe that you're an actual introvert all the
I
way.
think introverts, they're not necessarily like antisocial, like people. I think the main part of it is that they have to recharge. Like they can't.
Exactly.
They're very conscious of like social interaction, and it's so like, hey, I obviously can turn it on or whatever, but if I spend a week like at a conference, for instance, if I did the conference that you did, I would have to have like a rotting in bed day, like just
Really?
not- yes,
Wow.
I
and
can
I'd
really
be fired
fill
up
it
after
up.
that. I'd be like, yeah.
Let's talk to everybody. Yeah, no, I'm very conscious about, when I'm social, how often I am, and it is draining. So, but I think that's more of like the introvert. I'm definitely an introvert. I don't think any part of me is an extrovert at all.
That is, well, I told you, I surely thought about you. Okay, in the same vein of a little bit of history, I woke up this morning and I always checked, during the kind of the off time seasons of the year, like in the summer, you wake up, you check the weather. You don't even have to in the summer because you just know it's
know
like
hot.
Yeah, it's just gonna be hot.
Burning
Oven
outside.
But the rest, but the rest of the year, I will tend to, if I have to go out, I'll get up and I'll look, on my phone to see, well, what's the temp going to be today? And I'm like, shoot, 60 is kind of cold. And then I thought about that. I thought, well, is it really cold or is this just typical? I mean, because Louisiana weather, it's kind of up and down. So in case you were wondering, the record highs for Monroe on this day,
March 18th.
March 18th,
Okay, go for it.
have a tie for 1982 and 1953. The record high was 89 degrees.
Ooh, hot.
Record low for March 18th in Monroe, Louisiana was in 1960 and it was 30 degrees.
Okay.
Now,
Wasn't it about 30 this morning when you woke up?
yes,
what I'm
so
feeling. I was
I'm
like,
like,
"Geez,
wow,
it is
yes,
cold."
yes, it was cold. No, it wasn't 30, but it was cold. The highest temperature in March, period, for Monroe, Louisiana, was 95 degrees.
What kind of summer was that?
And that
The
was
worst.
And that
The
was
worst
on
kind.
March 11th, 1911. The
Was that when they
lowest.
first started taking these measurements? And
Look,
keeping track of all this stuff?
I mean, I'm wondering.
The first day, they were like, this is unseasonably.
Yeah.
like-
The lowest temp in March for Monroe, Louisiana was 18 degrees. And it was on March the 4th, 2002. And the average temp is actually 58 degrees, which is
Okay.
kind of like where we're supposed to be today,
Yeah.
59, 60 degrees.
It
So
felt colder than that.
it
y'all,
did.
though. I
That's
was
what
like,
made me look at
"Ugh."
that. And I was like, gosh, it feels cold to me. But,
Yeah.
you
Felt
know,
like winter time. Like
yes.
I thought we were done with this. The poor creatures
me
of the
too.
forest are thinking, come on, Mother Nature, what is wrong with
They
you?
no, they
Where's
come out
the
and they say,
sun?
"Shoot, it's Louisiana," and they turn around and go back in. You know, it is not the ending that they want for this story.
Yeah.
And speaking of endings, Monday morning motivation.
All right.
Okay, Monday morning motivation.
Talk to
you
us.
know, so
I need it this morning.
Preach. Preach.
all right, so you know how we're pretty much conditioned from childhood to happy endings. You know, the fairy tale endings. You read a book,
Closure.
some kind of way it's going to have a happy ending, and you're going to know the what and the whys, and your questions are all going to be answered. You're going to know why this thing happened. You're going to know what this person was
And the
thinking.
hero has to be triumphant.
The hero has to be triumphant, because
Yep.
if not, you know, it just doesn't settle right. I guess because we've been so conditioned to it, it's not reflective of real life. And I
Right.
guess maybe it's that way because when we read, we want to be entertained, and we want to live in the world that we don't actually live in. So everything is packaged so nicely.
Escape.
I don't know
Escapism.
now.
Yeah,
I live
escape.
in my world. My world is all sunshine
Your-
and roses.
All the time.
Your world
right?
is a very different world from anybody's world, Ryan.
Hey, my world
But-
only has odd numbers in it.
Again, your world is different from everybody else's, Ryan.
Yep.
So, you know, so we're conditioned to that. We want that. And so when we're in our own lives, when things aren't packaged that neatly, you know, when we don't have the answers to the questions of why, it's difficult for us and it's challenging. And sometimes it really can immobilize some people who just, I mean, seriously cannot move forward because they don't understand this. Why did this happen? And I mean, but when I thought about that, I thought about sometimes we just have to make the best of things. Regardless as to what I mean, that's life. Regardless as to what the outcome is, or what the momentary, the temporary, or what looks like the very finite state is, we have to, if we want to be able to put ourselves in the best psychological position, the best mental position, the best perspective position, we have to choose to make the best of it. And what does make the best of it mean? To me and for me, when I've been in those spaces, I choose to focus on what can I learn while I'm in this space. You know, maybe it's my lack of patience for waiting. You know, I feel like I have to do something. So the something that I'm going to do is determine what is it that I can actually learn while I'm here? Because one, if it's in an uncomfortable space, I don't want to have to repeat that.
Right.
And I don't want to be in that space longer than what I have to. And so I'm thinking about what can I learn until I transition out of that space, or until that season is over. And that helps me, one, because I'm learning, and two, because I'm developing something in me that that obviously wasn't as developed before, or wasn't developed before. And so, you know, when I thought about that too, I remember this quote from Mahatma Gandhi: "Learn as if you will live forever. Live like you will die tomorrow." So you're putting yourself in a constant state of what can I get from this? And it redirects your mind from your discomfort of being in the situation where you are to making it actually work for you. So that's, that's some way that we can make an uncomfortable space or an uncomfortable season or a hard season, because life is up and downs, we're going to have both. So, how well do we wait? Sometimes changing your perspective in the waiting can help you wait better. And so if you can think about what you can learn, how you can grow from where you are in that moment, it brings purpose. You find purpose right where you are in a season where you would rather not be, and until you transition to another season. So it gives you an appreciation for life no matter where you are along the spectrum.
Yeah.
Good, bad, and indifferent.
100% agreed with that. I do not get commission for selling John Maxwell's books, although I wish I did. But he has a book called Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn.
I've seen that one. I haven't read it, but I've seen
Yeah.
the title.
And in the quote, I always try to remember that I am a work in progress. When I maintain that perspective, again, all things that you just said, I realize that I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to have it all together, as long as I'm learning.
As long as you're learning.
growing.
And that's a great space to be in. All right, speaking of which, look, some people are going to learn how well they're perceived by others, because this week when I sent out requests for Week at a Glance, I got back so many shout outs, which made my heart leap for joy, because this is us being, encouraging one another and people sharing, their appreciation for one another, which is really cool.
We need to do a graphic for that, like a whole nother segment. If this is going to be this many shout outs, we got to
Yeah.
have like some music. and
Add
something.
that to the
Yeah.
add it to the queue for sure.
So I am going to read some of these, and they will also be in a Week at a Glance, but I did want to give them more than just the Week at a Glance mention. All right, so we want to shout out a congratulations to Lake Providence High School students Jace Haley, Joby Clark, Brendan Little, and Weston Cowden, because they are advancing to the area FFA welding competition. Shout out to Jamie Hankins, who is their welding instructor, because, Jamie, we know the reason they're able to do this is because of your leadership and instruction in the classroom. So kudos to you for a job well done, and congratulations to those students, and we wish them well in the next stage of the competition. So whoop whoop.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we're talking about competition and it's not a sports competition. We
Yeah.
are in March Madness, basketball's happening. We always are talking about football, baseball's right around the corner, all kinds of things. But academic competitions, skills competitions, those are very important. And it's just great that we have those types of competitions around so that students and faculty and staff can show off their skills in those spaces. So kudos. This is wonderful to hear. Wonderful.
Yes. Okay. Yes, it is. Okay. Between Lake Providence and Tallulah, we got this from Whitney. Whitney says they are expecting 46 graduates this May in
46?
healthcare alone.
Woo, 46.
From Tallulah and Lake Providence campus.
That's a pretty big number.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is a huge number.
Is that PN, RN?
This is PN, RN, and PCT all included.
Oh, my.
Yep. So, whoop, whoop. Way
That
to
is
go,
amazing.
Lake
I'm
Providence
telling you.
and Tallulah.
Woohoo.
All
Need to get
right.
some sound effects for all these shout
Yeah,
outs.
I know. Elizabeth, I would like to give a shout out to Elizabeth Ford and the Student Success Navigators. I believe that came from Nathan. Nathan Hall. Cameron, I don't have, there, I do see that. Okay. Elizabeth Ford and all the Student Success Navigators. And he said, Liz Ford and the Student Success Navigators are doing an amazing job. They've been setting up visits all over our area. They have attended 12 events this week, which he sent it last week, and 17 events the week before that.
Wow.
Awesome.
The Navigators are recruiting at each high school in our area and going to libraries, apartment complexes, recovery houses, and community events. They are passionate about changing our community for good. I'm excited to see how their hard work will pay off. The student success navigators are Ashley Easterling, Naja Haney, Stacy Sandage, Orlandon Williams, and Trayvon Williams. And then he wants to send a shout out. Nathan wants to send a shout out to Mike Abrams. Mike is an adjunct teacher in the barbering department in West Monroe. He's passionate about teaching people his craft, has a great attitude, and the students love him. Ryan, I'm going to let you pick up for the rest of them. I'm going to pop out for a second.
Okay, all right. Actually, I was trying to.
It's me, right?
I was trying to make that transition happen, and it didn't. So it's okay. Cameron.
Yeah.
So first of all, I think what that's saying is it's always good to just think about your people and recognize your people. And so that was really good. You know, I know a lot of these people that were listed in the shout out. So definitely kudos to y'all. Mike, I visit with Mike at least once a month while students are cutting my hair. Mike Abrams is there to make sure they cut it just right. And sometimes he even goes and kind of touches some things up. So again, thank you so much. Mike is a great guy and a great teacher, he's a great instructor as well. So, but again, thank you, Nathan, for pointing that out to us all. Now, the next one says, I'd like to shout out, this is from Gwen Hall, I'd like to shout out Chandler Ragsdale. He's done an amazing work in the registrar's office so far, and we are sad to see him go. I wasn't expecting to see that.
Oh, well,
Did
we're
am I
sad to
reading that
see
right?
him go. Additionally, he's managed to add to the fun and laughter in our office, and we all know that's priceless. Thank you, Chandler, for helping to move our office in a better state than it was before you arrived. Best of luck. So I guess he will be taking his leave, but thank you, Chandler, for everything.
I feel like I just got to know you.
I know, right? Oh,
But
my
you know,
gosh.
sometimes those wonderful opportunities occur, and we just can't do anything but take them. You know, when it just is right there, we have to take advantage.
Exactly. Thank you for the shout out, Gwen. Next, we also have a shout out from Miss Sandy Clausen. I would like to give a shout out to Sarah Zeno, lead teacher in the Children's Center. Caring for and teaching 2 to 4 year olds 40 hours a week is a tough job, and she makes it look easy. She creates such a warm and inviting classroom environment, and the children love her. Sandy Clausen gave that shout out to Sarah Zeno. Thank you, Sarah, for that. Does take a lot to hang out with 2 to 4 year olds for 40 hours a week.
Right.
Woo, girl, you got it. You're better than me. Thank you so much. Next, we have let's see who gave this one.
Rhonda
Lindsay. Rhonda Lindsay is saying she would love to give a shout out to Dana Bray and Skyshin in the library services. When a student asks for help, you just know that they're going to be taken care of. Both are so patient and friendly and bring such encouragement to students who may be stressed out, whether they're signing up for classes, needing to be tutored, or simply checking something out. Dana and Sky are make sure our students leave confident and calm. These two are jewels, and I'm very impressed with them. That's from Rhonda Lindsay.
Rhonda,
And that's
thank you.
That's on taking care of like the little things, really being detail oriented and making the student experience just every step of the way being enjoyable and helpful. So we appreciate y'all in library services.
And that just goes to show how important every person's role is. Everyone is important at LDCC.
Yes.
No matter what your role is, from even our janitorial staff, when they are friendly and they treat people, you greet them with smiles and pleasant attitudes. It makes the experience. Just think if they weren't, or if the people at the night center weren't, or the front desk when you walk onto campuses. It gives you an impression of what you're probably going to be treated like, the rest of your experiences at that campus. So every single person is important and touches lives, whether it's the person sitting next to you in the station where you work or our students who you may engage with. Everybody is important.
Absolutely. And our last shout out is my girl, Sharon Bryant, again.
Yes.
A shout out for her. Sharon Bryant in student billing is awesome. in all caps.
In all caps.
Always pleasant and assisting students. That is from Stacy Silman. Sharon, you got a fan, and you have another one because I'm also a fan. So awesome. Well, thank y'all so much for those great shout outs. I love hearing everybody brag on each other.
So I'm thinking, just to give you more work to do, that we need to have like the graphic with the quotes, and it's like scrolling across the screen as we read it,
Yeah,
So
I love that.
maybe we can make that happen next time. Y'all keep sending in shout outs so we can give Cameron more work to do.
That is not right.
That's fun work to do. I love doing that.
All right, what a great way to end this week's podcast,
Yes.
y'all. Only one thing left to say, y'all. Keep being awesome.
Yeah.
Until next week, we'll see y'all.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Oh, do we have outro music? No?
Yeah, we do.
Maybe? Hey!